Opportunities to break barriers are always there, always sitting on the fence within arm's reach, but rarely do we step out, throw on the saddle, and grab them by the horns. Rarely will we jump in head first, when just a test with the tow will do. And rarely does anyone deliver on all fronts, when a society that's come to accept mediocrity will take just a few. Thankfully, I work in an industry that doesn't believe in testing the waters, and today I have a product from a company whose vehicles are meaner than a junkyard dog, won't give you 90% when only 110 will do, and push the bounds of what we thought possible so far that we're left with vehicles that we never thought imaginable. 1K, the 1000cc barrier. It's been done before, it's been done multiple times by multiple manufacturers. So why is the new RZR referred to as the 1K like it were something special, something new, or something never done before? We were asked if 800cc's is enough, and we said no. 900cc's, is that enough? Still no. 1000cc's, is that going to be enough to keep us satisfied? And the short answer is, you can always use more horsepower. Power here is sizable, strong, and feels as though you enter into a warp zone, as the needle seemingly skips a time dimension before it's buried well past 60 miles per hour. The 1000cc motor outputs 107 horse on 87 octane fuel, and 60 of the near 70 available foot-pounds of torque on tap from 3,500 RPM straight through to 8 grand, where 70 foot-pounds holds strong. We know the 1K mill is going to satisfy the majority of high-performance side-by-side drivers, and will leave many competitors quivering in the corners as it roars past them. While Polaris' closest horsepower competitor is only 6 ponies behind, can it truly be that different? Can it really be better? And if it is, what is it that sets it apart? Because while 6 horsepower is a great thing, it's not always noticeable. To understand this answer, you must understand the vehicle. This is not just a touch-up, overhaul, or tweak. This is new from the ground up, utilizing a precisely built frame willing to accept the monstrous horsepower mated to a beefy transmission, sending power to a special high-performance on-demand drive system, and suspended by the industry's leading suspension package. It means it's not just 6 horsepower that's helping the 1K feel different, it's everything from the tires to the roll cage, and all that's in between. Polaris has been on the gas since the introduction of the first 50-inch wide RZR way back in 2008. And with 6 years for R&D to play, this is the start of a new chapter for a totally new era in Polaris side-by-side vehicles. And in this new era, suspension is beyond what I thought possible. The abilities of the 1K are almost mind-numbing, soaking up huge hits, ripping through chatter, or destroying berms. The suspension calibration stock is beyond anything I have ever ridden, and could only be compared to a true trophy truck style suspension, where the faster you go, the smoother it gets. There really is no polite way to say this, but it takes a pretty healthy sized coin purse to stab the gas on this baby and hold it at 60 plus miles per hour through whooped out chop. But after the first time you do it, you realize it's absolutely within the 1K's wheelhouse. Making the whole process more stable are Walker Evans 2.5 body anti-bottoming needle rear shocks, and up front the same spec at 2-inch diameter. But more than just the Ultralux shocks help keep you in control at high speed. The incredibly long trailing arms mounted near mid-chassis allow for some of the longest stroking shocks I have ever seen, meaning along with huge adjustable stroke, you get an incredibly long pivot to help slow down the movement of the arms and transfer inertia to the middle of the chassis. While the suspension alone would have been a significant improvement over anything that we've seen to date, the truth is that the amenities included with the 1K work seamlessly with keeping the driver in control and focused on the task at hand. Standard EPS is huge in this category. You're not going to satisfy unless you're rolling with the best gear. EPS makes the driving experience easy and confidence inspiring. The interior redesign is impressive, giving me what I've been asking for: complete control with no compromise. The specs of the 1K tell the story. Yes, it does carry a pretty significant price tag, but there is nothing else out there that holds a candle to this vehicle. While the competition is charging hard, Polaris just has a few more years' experience. And with experience comes wisdom, the ability to see what others haven't, and innovate where others won't. The realization of the 1K is far more than metal and motor. It's precision design components which combine into a laser-guided vehicle that's got the entire side-by-side world in its crosshairs. While the visuals speak for themselves, the buck stops when you click the belt, pull the shifter, and release all 107 horsepower. The XP1000 is the realization of unfathomable engineering hours, unspoken lessons learned the hard way, incredible leaps of faith, and barriers burned so far to the ground that we're left with nothing but the ashes of what we thought was possible. The 1K is landed, and it's carrying a hammer of equal proportions.